Hello, wonderful people. Good afternoon from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Time check is 3:23, approaching to 3:30. It's raining outside. Very nice weather, overcast condition. There is a storm going on somewhere at our coastal areas. So, in that effect, we are seeing some rain and a little bit of cool breeze. Perhaps winter is coming. So, I've been doing a lot of videos and stuff, but today I'm going to do a very long video, just one video at this particular time. And I'm wearing, let me show you, I have plenty of things to say, but first of all, I'm wearing for this video Bleu de Chanel. So this is a very memorable fragrance in my journey, but this video is going to be about my fragrance journey, what started my fragrance game, or how I fell in love. I have done this kind of video before, maybe a year ago, and perhaps you'll see some redundant video perfume selection here. I'm a bit excited, but I have one problem, that I have a little bit of a flu situation, cold situation going on. So my voice is a little bit not okay. But I have set up 12 fragrances. I have few more that can be in this list, but whatever I found in front of me, I put them. So the video is going to run a little long because it's not going to be review. It's going to be about stories. Each fragrance has memory, because everyone, to everyone, it starts somewhere. Any like passion or hobby, at certain point it started. Like, let's say someone is a food vlogger, how did you fall in love with this line? Or let's say you are a car guy, how did you fall in love with your car passion, or what was your first car, or watch, whatever, a lot of hobbies. And every single thing has a sentiment attached to it, which makes it so much more precious. Let's say it's not the most expensive fragrance that started your journey, but maybe a very simple thing. And I will show you, it's not funny, it's just like all sentiments, and I'll show you how it all started. And I would like to know your story as well. What fragrance did you wear back in the days? So I was born in the 80s, right? I'm 81. So I am at this point 43. So obviously 4 decades entered officially into 5th decade. So I'm kind of old. And I have been doing this review thing for about 8 years, since 2016, if you count. And, you guys know I am a sort of freak of nature because I do reviews every day. I do a lot of videos. And some of them obviously new fragrances, some fun fragrances, some list are for hyping and all that. We do that, but this is going to be long video because it has a lot of sentiments attached to it. Even if you don't watch it, it's fine. But I would like to leave where my journey started. So before I started officially my journey, means started watching reviews or started collecting officially, like as a collector, I was a normal guy, obviously, like everybody else. And since my school days, I loved perfumes. Let's say they were, in terms of body sprays, I have quite a few here. These are just I keep for emotion. I don't reach for them that much, but see, Axe, and then Brute. I had another one called Spalding, like Dark Temptation fragrance from Axe. And then these fragrances like Denim or Brute or Gillette. Those were aftershaves I used, and then I used to combo with the body spray and aftershave. And when you're a student, like if you're not super rich, obviously you cannot afford expensive colognes. Like some people can, but some people cannot. But back in the days, we used to have like a tiffin money, and we'd just save up perhaps, or someone we wait for gifting to us, or we steal from our father's collection. So this is how it goes. Okay, so I used to always get attracted towards perfumes. Like I have few fragrances I'll show you. Like one fragrance. Let's start with story. Let's start with honorable mention, which I did not own, but it did have influence on my journey, is this one, Acqua Di Gio, one of the most expensive perfumes, even till date, in general for mango people, like normal people. This fragrance, it has like seen many years, but still, till now, Armani fragrances are super expensive, and I never could buy this. Okay, I saw this in Malaysia because I went there during college time, A-levels time, and I've seen it in the shelf of many people, even uncles, younger brothers, older brothers who are well off. They used to wear or reach for this because this was the rich man's perfume. Okay, so this is how this is gonna roll. Some of you be like, this is not a niche perfume, this is not expensive. Yes, today we have a lot of Nishanes, Manceras, we have Creed. This back in the days we did not know of these brands, okay, or they were not super popular or hyped, at least in my region. Okay, I grew up in Bangladesh 20 years, and then like not 20, 17 years, and then 20 years was in Malaysia, now back to Bangladesh. So this was the honorable mention, and I smelled it on many people. And this is like a newer, like 2-3 years old batch. But back in the days, Acqua Di Gios were more beast mode. The juice color, though, of those time would be yellowish, right? Like Purum, these fragrances. So these were very like very popular, but I could never, let's say, afford it or never owned it. So I would not say these were my uh, starter points, but obviously have the smell, when I smelled it, smell of a man, right? So these are the initial story. But officially, when I started actually getting perfumes or full bottle EDT, or let's say something like I bought saving my money, university life, some of the fragrance I bought, they are very close to me. Some of them are the most cheapest, some of them are most like not even, to some of you it will be like nothing, but to me, let's go one by one. So first fragrance I'll show you, the bottle is almost finished. This is Paco Rabanne Black Excess, and this one I think has only few sprays left. I don't know if you can see it moving. Nowadays this bottle is hard to find, this Zippo lighter one, this type. And this one is a flanker of Excess, which I also smelled back in the days, but I never owned it. This one I did own. Okay, this one, small bottle. And the thing is, the smell is super attractive. It has strawberry, pineapple, fruitiness, and it is very similar to Versace Manu Fresh, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue for women, Star Walker by Mont Blanc. So this is pre-hype era, pre-Jeremy era, pre-fragrance review era. So I discovered them on my own, shopping mall and going there. If you go to shopping mall perfume section, your eyes are like, like us, like being in a candy store like kids, right? So I would just always look at these fragrances. I'm like, oh man. And I would just go sometimes, like when people spray it, you can smell it, right? So this fragrance was one of my older bottles, and I had a very small bottle, 50 ml. I loved it plenty. Should have got a big bottle. I do have a newer version of this, but I will hunt down a vintage version of this. So this was just one bottle I finished. I could never repurchase, but Black Excess by Paco Rabanne, one of the memorable ones before my journey started. The second one, it's another one. This one has one story. This is Davidoff Hot Water. And you would imagine, like, isn't it like cool water more popular, or cool water would be more likely like Acqua Di Gio to be hyped or to be noticed before anything else? True, I have cool water. Cool water is a fragrance, definitely is old fragrance. These are cousins, right? Like these are brothers. One was released, this was released after cool water's success, but cool water got more hype because that is similar to apparently greenish tweed, right? But hot water, my discovery. I used to live in a condo. It's those who live in Malaysia, they would know Jalan Genting Klang, and there's a apartment or condo called Heritage Condo. It was behind Galleria shopping mall. We lived there for a very long time. I used to live in a 12th floor, and then after that we used to live in the penthouse 18th floor. A lot of memories there. And there was a brother. He is my elder brother, and we met during playing cricket. Like we used to play cricket in the tennis court, right, in the afternoon. And one day he's like, he liked me so much. He's like, you want to borrow some movies and stuff? So I'm like, okay, because we used to have the DVDs, VCDs, those era. And I went to his house, and he prepared some meal, and there were like a few other friends. And I went to his room, and then in the shelf, he had this cupboard, and in the shelf he had 3 or 4 perfumes. One of them was this. My eye went straight to the red bottle. I'm like, wow, that bottle is beautiful. And I said, may I try the perfume? He knows that I like fragrance. He's like, you can spray, don't worry. And I sprayed 2 or 3 times. Obviously, I'm not one of those D-bags, like I would go like bathe in someone's perfume, which some people do. They go like, oh, my friend's perfume, use liberally. No, I sprayed this, and I was like, wow. I mean, like if you're a new collector, new guy, especially moving from body sprays to EDTs, these are the fragrances will really blow you away, So I'm saying that, my sentiments, and I really wanted to collect this sometimes, but Malaysia, these are not very cheap. Like here in Bangladesh, you can find them at pretty discounted price, but these were sold only in retailers. Retailers means you have to spend at least $40-50, which was not in my pocket. But this one definitely has stories and memories. Davidoff Hot Water. This is another one, warm, vanilla, kind of like you can say pimento, spicy, very weird fragrance to describe, and one of the very unique ones with very good longevity. In Bangladesh, this I bought for first time for $22, which is very reasonable. Next one, here comes one, nostalgia after nostalgia. Okay, and I know that time is gonna run long. I don't care if I have to finish in long time. Let it be, may it be. So this one is called Versace Blue Jeans. Not one of the most hyped ones, and not one of the most expensive ones. You guys know Versace's 3 fragrances: are more on the affordable side than Versace Purum, Versace Manu Fresh. I did not own them. I did not smell them back in the days. Weird but true. And I know, like, my first love of Versace was actually this Versace's Dreamer. This was a love when I was in university second year. And there was this girl, my classmate. She started doing business of perfumes, Malaysian girl. She was very cool. She had this whole gang of, like like you can say tomboys, sort of. They were not girly girls. They were very, hey bro, what's up? Like very, how to say, like cool girls. So when she said I'm started a business, so you can check my page or something. That time maybe we had high five tagged, those groups, and also perhaps before Facebook. I think that era. I don't know. I just found her group or page, whatever, and then she said this one, like it was the most cheapest one in the list, and I said, oh, okay, 120 ringgit is not that much, so I spent that money. I got. So this is not the older version. The older version used to say Versace blue jeans, but it would say Versace or something. There you go. That tin can is the old bottle, but I don't have the bottle. I just have the packaging. New ones don't say Versace or Versace, whatever. Only says blue jeans. So when I got this, a small little bottle, but the bottle really got me mesmerized. If you watch Lord of the Rings, like Harry Potter, I'm sorry, the British, they just, like, their accent is so awesome. I just love, look at that. I mean, just take a look at that. You don't see this kind of bottles or creativity anymore. There's plain bottles. The Versace, the Medusa head always is raised. Nice bottle. So I got this and I sprayed it. I couldn't understand, man, what is the smell? It is very weird. It's very unique. I didn't know the notes, right? So to me, it smelled like cola, blue cola, like we used to have a Pepsi Blue. This is the kind of smell I got from this. And I used to get compliments from wearing this, even though not very long lasting. But this juice, I bought like 3-4 bottles in my whole journey, right? In Malaysia itself. I keep buying this, okay? And from her. So I got 3 bottles from her and I have good memories of this. This is, I think, heliotrope, a little bit of florals, a little bit of like, this is the one of the most unique, like Versace fragrances ever. And I think this one has a lot of memories. Have you ever used it? What's your thoughts on it? Versace blue jeans. In the jeans line, I have few jeans to cover, if I can find them, very hard. So the next one, a lot of memories. I always mention Laos Purum. This is the one I discovered after Laos Purum. And funny story is, when I bought a perfume, I think my father bought Boss bottle or something. They gifted him like one miniature from, in Malaysia, there was that shopping mall called Jasco at the time. Then that became Aeon, and then Aeon and Aeon Big took over, I think, Carrefour or Kafu, and then Jasco. So Jasco used to go because it was near our area, Wangsa Maju area. During Hari Raya, Eid, or our birthday time, we just go pick up fragrances, gifts. So usually they do have sets, right? They have this box, perfume, one miniature, maybe a body gel or aftershave, something, right? So usually there'll be like 3 items, right? So with this, I think it gave like Lacoste Purum. Oh, not Boss bottle. He bought this, and there was a miniature of 10 ml of Lacoste Purum, and then a shower gel. And I stole the Lacoste Purum small bottle. Believe it or not, I did not know that's a women's perfume. I loved it so much, and then I saved money and I got Lacoste Purum. And when I sprayed it, I'm like, oh, it doesn't smell quite like the one that I liked, because Lacoste Purum I love. It's so beautiful. I don't know if my mom still has that. I gifted her my bottle. So I bought this thinking this was the one that I had, but no, it was Lacoste Purum. But then I fell in love with this because this one has a plum note, a little bit of a booziness, sweetness. But it did not suit Malaysian weather so much. It did not last as much in high heat. So it was not my most favorite, but I have memories of it. Birthday time, just getting one small bottle, wear it in the Eid day. Very, very nostalgia, like big time nostalgia, right? Lacoste Purum. If you never tried it, try it. It's a kind of like a synthetic designer style fragrance, but one of the unique ones in Lacoste. Next one is this fragrance, is the one I notoriously forget the name every single time I do a video. If the sound is still on. Oh man, sometimes, you have to check. Yeah, it is on. Okay. And I forget. I love this perfume, but I cannot remember the name. Then I know why. Some of the bottles, they never mention the name. Okay. Like some of the perfumes, you just know them by the bottle, but the name is not on the bottle. So this is the fragrance, Hugo Boss In Motion. Today I remember. I made sure I remember. This fragrance is not known by current generation, and this is the very futuristic sort of sprayer. You have to hold it here and then you spray, right? And this fragrance was very pleasant, I remember, but did not last long. 2 hour stops in Malaysia. But this gave me an orangey smell, and I remember that orange because the shape of orange, and this is the orange color. And when I started collecting, I had this one, some of the other flankers. Puts a smile on my face. Again, birthday gift, small 75 ml bottle, and this is 125, I think. Yeah. Oh no, this is 90 ml. So they had 50 and 90, I guess. Okay. So this perfume I used to wear in my classes during my degree. I used to wear, and it would smell really nice. I used to carry this in my bag, and sometimes my friends would ask me like, "What you wearing? You know, what body spray is this?" And I would tell them this is this perfume, and they'll be like, "It's pretty nice." You know, even a teacher complimented me once. So this is good memories. Hugo Boss in motion, and Hugo Boss is definitely, you'll see a couple of Hugo Bosses here, Dunhills. You know, these were the brands popular at the time. I'm talking about 2000s. Okay. Next one, another Lacoste. And this perfume, I was lucky to find a bottle. Now it's very hard to find. This is Lacoste Red or Lacoste Style in play. So mind you, there's another Lacoste Red, which is in the Lacoste, that square shaped bottle, the white, yellow, red, black, green. That's also Lacoste Red, but this is called Style in play. And they do have, I think, a couple of flankers. There's a blue one. I never found it. If I find, I'll review. And they did have Lacoste Booster, Lacoste for men, also Lacoste Essential. Those are very popular, but I never owned them. This thing, my sister gifted to me, I think, during my 20-something birthday, very long time ago. And I sprayed it. I thought the perfume was not like okay because it gave me alcohol-y vibe. What I mean by alcohol-y vibe, this one has a boozy note. And later I realized this one has apples, and there's this kind of like a vodka or alcohol-y vibe, but it goes away. But the smell of apple, fresh cut apple, very, very fresh, very sweet. Maybe there's kind of like a licorice note. So it carried through for a very long time, maybe 4 to 5 hours. And I remember more than Laos Purum, I used to prefer this, but it finished. I missed this perfume. So this is, I think, 125 ml, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is 125. Yeah. So this one, it's a great fragrance. If you like, I would say this is a cheaper alternative to By Kilian's. What's that fragrance? Apples. Man, sometimes you don't remember the name. You guys know the apple brandy on the rocks. Yeah, but this one was released before that, right? So I'm not saying one is clone of the other, but if you like that, can afford it, try it. Or you can try the apple tini from Paris Corner. So this was another one that was in my journey, and before there was fragrance community, these are the fragrances I loved. So let's go top 6. These two fragrances back to back. These two fragrances, let me show you together. CK1 and Dunhill Desire Red. In my first year of university, these are the two perfumes I bought when I got some, Eid money or someone like during birthday. And I went to a place, I think it was Hanifa in Masjid India, those who know. Masjid India, Hanifa, and then I think Maideen. These are popular spots for people to shop. But I saw these in Hanifa and I got this one and this one, 200 ml and 100 ml of these. And I used to wear them everywhere. This was in my car, CK1. I left that bottle in Malaysia, sadly. This was in my house. This one performed like crazy. This is the longest lasting perfume in my whole list today. And I used to wear them. I would get compliments, like people say, you smell nice. What is that? I remember Dunhill Desire Red. And I smell this everywhere. This is one of the most common perfumes back in the days, okay? And CK1 used to give me headaches, but in the car, let's say you want going out, and if it's a hot country like Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Brunei, Singapore, you guys know fragrances do not last. Definitely because the high heat, the sun is so intense, you'll have sunburn. So you always use AC room, AC in the car, we hardly go out. So if you go out, you'll sweat a lot. And then you need like some perfume like respray. Like I used to spray CK1 and I sprayed more and I would get more headache because of the florals. But these two fragrances started my journey. I used to have a clone or a fake perfume of Drakkar Noir as well, which was called, I don't remember, it was a funny name. But these are the fragrances I remember, like without remembering. Okay, these are very close to my heart. Dunhill Desire Red and CK1. I still have them for memory. Next one. This fragrance, I would tell you one thing, Mont Blanc, Individual. A lot of hype during Jeremy's time. People think this is Jeremy's doing. Yeah, obviously it got popularity because of Jeremy, but in my university time, I did not know of any fragrance like channels or maybe 2001, 2002, right? That time. I mean, I don't think many people were. There was no channel basically. I don't know of, but I used to wear this. My father had one bottle. I had a small little bottle because that's how it goes. You don't get a big bottle. I used to spray that. I was like, it's fine. It's nothing crazy. But I used to remember this distinctive sweetness, and doesn't suit warm weather, but it's more of a cold weather scent, right? It has a metallic cold smell, and it's like not baby wipes, but certain things, you smell on the cotton bud or like tissue that is perfumed. This gave me that feel, and I used to see this one and Starbucks ad everywhere. If you enter a mall, Mont Blanc would like advertise this heavily. So I went through these three bottles in my university years, and I loved it. So I did say in my very first super bad quality video from Malaysia 8 years ago, I talked about it, how much I enjoyed it. But this was always like a 7 out of 10, not hyper crazy, but it's a nice perfume for colder months. Mont Blanc, Individual. The last three, or the top three, these are the most, I can tell you the most number of time I wore them, the most number of times I loved them, and these are the ones responsible for basically my fragrance journey. One was this one, Armani Code. Okay, this is the older bottle. It has this style. Before this, there was another version called Armani's Black Code. I know this because my dad used to own the big 125 mil or 200 mil, and he used to hide this perfume from me because this was expensive. This was like $120 in Malaysia. I remember when he used to go to the like dinner parties or university programs, he used to wear this, and super strong, masculine, sweet, dark. This was the perfume like our dream fragrance. I could never afford it. I know it like Acqua Di Gio. I could never afford it. So whenever he's not at home, I will just open the cupboard. I just like find the fragrance behind all the boxes and stuff, and I'll just go one, two sprays. I'm like, wow, and I just put it back because in case he notices. So this is a dream fragrance for men back in the days, especially like younger kids. And this was one of the most top sellers, expensive perfumes, right? Armani's Acqua Di Gio was good, but Armani's Code was, I think, got 3 times Fifi Award for being the most creative. The bottle is in the shape of a tuxedo. So this one, now they are trying to make cash out or cash in, make so many flankers. Like this one is one of my favorites. Hard to find now, Armani Code Profumo. This was a newer one. Then Armani Code Parfum is a new one. I find that to be the closest to this and more modern version of it, and good longevity. So Armani Code definitely has influence in my journey. Okay. So the next two, I think I wore the most in my journey. Polo Blue. People, younger generation, they hate this. And I remember one thing that I started watching Mark, Sebastian, Zara. These people are not super pumped up about these fragrances. Okay, especially they like poo-poo on this, because to them these are fragrances that gets them annoyed, headache, and annoying. That cologne, whatever. And I understand that because living in colder countries, people do usually choose heavier, sweeter oud, tobacco. I understand it now, but a guy who lives in a warmer setup, to them this is heaven. Okay, Polo Blue is that freshness heaven. When you enter wearing this perfume in a AC room from a hotter outside, you just come in, people go like, wow. I featured this some of the most times in my journey, in my channel, and I still love it. Always will be in love with it. I'll buy a 200 ml backup in case they discontinue this. I have few other flankers, but this is my most favorite. Polo Blue Parfum is very nice, but doesn't beat it. Okay, Polo Blue. This is Joy Amin in a nutshell. And so many memories. I just love how sexy this smelled. Okay, if you never tried it, just try it once. No harm in going to the mall and spray once. Maybe you don't know, you fall in love with it. Okay, one of the best blue fragrances that started my journey. Number one, any guesses? What would this be? Yeah, most of you know this is actually my signature scent. Right now it's Dior Intense, but back in the days there was no Dior Intense. There was this, Boss Bottled, the most top seller fragrance in Malaysia, top seller. Anywhere you go, KLCC, Jasco, Mega Mall, Times Square, I remember the mall, Sunway, Pyramid, anywhere I went, this was the smell. First thing, you enter a perfume shop, like they don't have perfume shop, they have boutiques like Hugo Boss, Lacoste. You guys know how it works. So Versace. So I've never entered Versace because Versace is expensive. But my father, obviously back in the days, I do have a vintage version of it that was more sweet, more rounded. What you get from this modern masterpiece, Boss Bottle EDP Intense, this is the modern iteration of the older version. you cannot find that, you cannot find the vintage. So you can find a big bottle like this, spray heavily, go like 1 2 3 and same spot, do that again, you have to go heavy. That way it lasts okay, decent. But this is more fresh than before. Before it used to have the cinnamon, apple, kind of like apple pie smell. Same time, I think it was like similar to Tommy by Tommy. I did not own Tommy, I own this. To me, this is a god level perfume. Okay, the most common scent, most like it's like everybody wears this, but when you wear it, back in the days, you feel special, you feel like I'm the man. German fragrances, like strong, sweet. I didn't care for what notes. I just special days, man. If you going for meeting someone for the first time, I had this 30 ml little bottle, and I used to put this on. I met my first girlfriend, and then I wore this. Okay, and the thing is, I used to go very careful with the sprays. I was very stingy using this. I was not going like some of these. These I would go. These are much cheaper than this, right? So I would go liberal on those, right? But Boss bottle, I would go 1 to 2 sprays because I want to save the bottle, right? Every time I finish, I always ask my parents, get me another bottle, okay? So this is my journey starter, and most special fragrance in my journey is Boss bottle. And when I discovered Mark's channel, I watched his review. I was like, Boss bottle, my favorite fragrance. Let's see what he said. I was not, like very impressed because I thought he would give this like 10 like me. But to him, it was a good fragrance. He liked it, but he was more practical, less emotional. But fragrances are like that. They are journey, memories in a bottle. I remember I told you one story, like I broke up with my first girlfriend a long time back, and then many years later, I smelled her perfume. She used to use Vogue or Bouge, whatever that perfume brand. And I remember the smell. One time it was a subway, like KLCC underneath, got this LRT. And if you go under, like in the tunnel, there's this nice breeze coming from when the LRT approaches, it brings a lot of breeze, like, and then poof, it comes out from, the tunnel end or the staircase. I smelled that perfume, and I saw a girl or lady, whatever, from back. She was wearing like same dress like her, hijab and all. So I went there, I just chased, and I just looked like that, and she's like, what? And I thought for a second it was her, still thinking of that memory. It was very special. So it was not her, and I was sad for the whole day, but it brought her memories back. So yeah, like, to us human beings, that's what we have, and sometimes we are very strong, tough, and to other side of the people, of the to the world, maybe people look at us differently, but we hold certain sentiments we're weak for, right? So I do love this fragrance journey because it's my line of work. Also, I can sit at home and work. All these are true, but I have long history with fragrances. Since a kid, I love perfumes, right? So what is your story, and how did you fall in love with fragrances? Do share the story in the comment box so other people can read it. And thank you so much for all the kindness you showed me. I really I feel privileged, I can have this platform and talk about it. This was more like a morning thoughts episode, but long video. I really wanted to do this. Have a nice day. Love you all. Did I forget anything? No, I think that's pretty much all. Thank you so much if you watched this far. Love you all. Have a nice day. Bye bye.